An Exposition of the Christian Faith, Book 1, Chapter 19. Arius then says, "There was a time when the Son of God existed not, but the Scripture says, He was, and not that He was not. Furthermore, St. John has written, In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God." John 1, verse 1-3. Observe how often the verb was appears, whereas was not is nowhere to be found. Whom then are we to believe? St. John, who lay on Christ's bosom, or Arius, wallowing amid the outgush of his very bowels? So wallowing that we might understand how Arius in his teaching showed himself like Judas, being visited with like punishment. For Arius' bowels also gushed out. Decency forbids to say where, and so he burst asunder in the midst, falling headlong, and besmirching those foul lips wherewith he had denied Christ. He was rent, even as the apostle Peter said of Judas, because he bought a field with the price of evil doing, and falling headlong he burst asunder in the midst, and all his bowels gushed out. It was no chance manner of death, seeing that like wickedness was visited with like punishment, to the end that those who denied and betrayed the same Lord might likewise undergo the same torment. Let us pass on to further points. Arius says, before he was born, the Son of God was not. But the Scripture says that all things are maintained in existence by the Son's office. How then could he, who existed not, bestow existence upon others? Again, when the blasphemer uses the words when and before, he certainly uses words which are marks of time. How, then, do the Arians deny that time was ere the Son was, and yet will have things created in time to exist before the Son, seeing that the very words when, before, and did not exist once announce the idea of time? Arius says that the Son of God came into being of naught. How then is he Son of God? How was he begotten from the womb of the Father? How do we read of him as the word spoken of the heart's abundance, save to the end that we should believe that he came forth, as it is written, from the Father's inmost unapproachable sanctuary? Now a son is so called either by means of adoption or by nature. As we are called sons by means of adoption, Christ is the Son of God by virtue of his real and abiding nature. How then can he, who out of nothing fashioned all things, be himself created out of nothing? He who knows not whence the Son is, has not the Son. The Jews therefore had not the Son, for they knew not whence he was. Wherefore the Lord said to them, You know not whence I came. John 8:14. And again, you neither have found out who I am, nor know my Father. For he who denies that the Son is of the Father knows not the Father of whom the Son is. And again, he knows not the Son because he knows not the Father. Arius says, the Son is of another substance. But what other substance is exalted to equality with the Son of God, so that simply in virtue thereof he is the Son of God? Or what right had the Arians for censuring us because we speak in Greek or in Latin of the substantia of God, when they themselves, in saying that the Son of God is of another substance, assert a divine substantia? Howbeit, should they desire to dispute the use of words divine substance or divine nature, they shall easily be refuted. For Holy Writ ofttimes is spoken of, and then there's a word in Greek, or substantia in Latin, and St. Peter, as we read, would have us become partakers in the divine nature. But if they will have it that the Son is of another substance, they with their own lips confuse themselves, in that they both acknowledge the term substance, whereof they are so afraid, and rank the Son on a level with creatures above which they feign to exalt him. Arius calls the Son of God a creature, but not as the rest of the creatures. Yet, what created being is not different from another? Man is not as an angel, earth is not as heaven, sun is not as water, nor light as darkness. Arius's preference, therefore, is empty. He has but disguised with a sorry dye his deceitful blasphemies in order to take the foolish. Arius declares that the Son of God may change and swerve. How then is he God if he is changeable, seeing that he himself has said, I am, I change not?